Hi there. I'm sharing a few tips on how best to use B2Brain at the events that you're going to be at shortly. First one, once you have signed in with the link that you would have been shared, ensure that you add it to your phone's home screen. That way it becomes an app and you don't have to open the browser every time. To add it to your home screen, if you're on iPhone and on Safari, click the share icon on the browser. You'll have an option to add to home screen. If you're on Android or if you're on Chrome in iPhone, click the three dots on the top right of the browser. You'll have the option to add it to home screen. If you're on Android phones, same procedure as in Chrome. Click the three dots, you'll have the option to add it to home screen. And once you add it to home screen, it'll appear as the B2Brain icon on your phone. You can always click open that and use the app. That's number one. Number two is you can scan badges or business cards with B2Brain app. When I say scan, take a full picture of the badge or the business card. The app recognizes it. It does not use the QR code of the badge. It uses the entire picture to identify the person and the company, and it opens up a page where you can add notes to it. While you're adding notes to the person, in the back end, the app is enriching the contact information of the person, so you don't have to worry. The contact information will come up on the B2Brain dashboard. You'll get a link on your email to access it and download it as CSV anytime later. But let's focus on adding the notes. You can add a voice note or a text note. Just click the mic icon and add your voice notes. When you speak like how you would have, learned more about the conversation. You could have qualified them. You speak those qualifying parameters, so it is easier for you and your team later to put the prospect in the right stages of your pipeline. Okay. Third is you can also schedule a follow-up meeting and create a calendar invite right from within your voice notes. Just imagine. Let's say you met a person from a company and you agreed to have a follow-up meeting or a follow-up call about a product demo or walkthrough, say the next Wednesday. You can just say, met so-and-so, we are having a follow-up call for product walkthrough next Wednesday at 11 a.m. And when you save the voice note, the note gets transcribed and you have the two options, save a note or sync to CRM. You choose whichever. The note will get saved and the app will detect that you have identified Wednesday 4 a.m., next Wednesday 4 a.m. and appropriately create a call to action. That will give you an option to say invite for next Wednesday date 4 p.m. Next Wednesday date 4 p.m. When you click that, it will open up a meeting invite option to generate a QR code. At this point, you'll have to connect your Google Calendar to the app. Okay, it's a very simple procedure. The app will give you guidance like you will connect anything else. Once you connect it and say generate QR, it will generate a QR code. You can show to the person who's in front of you. They scan it. It sits as an invite on their calendar for next Wednesday 4 p.m. Okay. The moment they save it, it's also on your calendar. So your visitor actually becomes the organizer, and you can take it from me that they have a much less incentive to drop off the meeting after they have set it up, because they now own the meeting and they are the organizer of the meeting. Okay. And you are on the invite list. You can add other people also on the invite list. It's very easy. Okay. Give it a try. Now, whenever you add a voice note, before it gets saved into the system, it gets transcribed and the transcription is available for you to edit. This is because sometimes proper names of people can be misspelled and you don't want that misspelling going into the CRM. Okay, so you have the option to edit it before you save. When you save, you can either save the note, which means it's available on the B2Brain dashboard, or you can sync to the CRM. The two supported CRMs today are HubSpot and Salesforce. We'll be adding more, but for today, that's what it is. When you click sync to CRM, two things happen. One, it looks at whether in your CRM you have the account that you just scanned. If not, it will create the account. If the account exists, or when it creates it, it will save the note under the notes section of that account. Okay, it will save this note. It will be available. Now, a copy of it is also present on the B2Brain dashboard. Okay. Later, once the event is over, you can go and download the whole thing as a CSV or an Excel. Right? So all of these are possible. They're very easy and they're very straightforward. Now, let's say, for example, you are at the event, you are walking to the cafe or you're waiting for your Uber, you strike up a conversation with somebody nearby. They were an executive or they didn't have their badge or business card, or you had a very interesting conversation and you want to follow up. Okay. You remember their company name and you remember their name, but you just don't have their contact information. No worries. You can search for their company name in the home screen. It says looking to search for an account. Search for the company name. It will pop up the option. Select the company name. It opens a page where it gives you the company name and it says add a note. In that portion of add a note, you can just add a note saying, say for example, you met John Matthew. You met John Matthew from Black & Decker. You can just say, I met with John Matthew from Black & Decker. Here's what we talked about. And you save it. Right? Now, what the app does in the back end is it identifies that you had met this John Matthew and automatically enriches John Matthew's contact information and pushes that to your dashboard. Okay. So this way you never lose a conversation whether you scanned a badge or not. Okay. So all of these are possible. Now, when you open an account that one of your colleagues had already scanned, one of the multiple people from the same company came to your booths and different people met different folks at your booth. And when you scan the second person, because they identified the company, you will be able to see that other notes have been added. So you will have more context and you will be able to add much richer quality information. Remember, some of the highest quality notes that we have seen over across customers are between 10 to 15 seconds long. It's just unbelievable. Okay. And most of them would be high quality because they contain the qualification parameters. I met John Matthew. Here is the state of their business. Here is what their need is. And they're looking to engage with us in a certain time frame. Here's the next steps. Here are the other people to be, roped in. All of this can be added within like a 15 seconds, 20 seconds time frame. Of course, you can add multiple notes per account. A note is up to 20 seconds long as of today. Now, what happens if at the trade show venue connectivity is poor and you scan somebody and the data is not going through? Don't worry. You can continue to add notes. They will get saved whenever connectivity resumes, or in the background, the data will get, synced to the server. None of the data you added is ever lost. Okay. So don't worry. In case things are really poor and you just don't want, like you can see that your email is not loading. You can see that LinkedIn is not coming up. You can see WhatsApp is not sending or receiving messages. You can actually put the phone on airplane mode while you're at the booth managing a bunch of, visitors. B2Brain app will still work when you are on airplane mode. And when you reconnect back to internet, it'll get synced. Okay. So not to worry, data is intact and it's always available for you. Okay. So that's a few ways of using the app effectively. One more thing. Sorry. Let's say there's a lot of rush at the booth. You don't have too much time to add notes one after another. Okay. Just take pictures of people's badges. And when you get the next break, the next breather, the next, coffee break, you can upload the images of those badges one by one and add notes per usual. So, in that 5-10 minute window, you could have finished all the 15-20 people you met earlier. Okay. So go forth, build your pipeline and let us know at support@b2brain.com in case you run into issues, or if you have a WhatsApp group going on with us, absolutely happy to help and support you. All the best.